This episode is presented to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours.
And welcome back to All the Smoke. Man, this is a long time coming, Jack.
Man, I almost shed some tears when he got out the car. When he got
I
here.
might shed some tears up here too.
I bothered this man the last 3 years. Like, harassed him. Like, I felt bad at some point. Like, I harassed Reg's ass, and then we finally got Big Sis on the show last month.
But that's not why I'm doing it.
Oh, no, you said you would do it. You gave me your word. You gave me your word.
That's not why I'm doing it.
You said when you get some time.
It's a lot of why I'm doing it, too.
Yeah.
Fact or fiction
You said when you got
will be
some,
this episode. Fact or fiction.
you said when you got some time, you would pull up, and, man, we appreciate it. We know we're right before the playoffs right now. You told us your playoff schedule. That's incredible. But it's good to see you, man. Welcome to the show, Reggie Miller.
Appreciate you, man.
Big bro, big
Bro,
bro.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
All the smoke.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
And I want it all, boy. I have a whole bunch of stuff I want to
Yeah, talk your
get
shit,
off my
Reg.
chest.
Talk
Yeah,
your shit,
me
Reg.
too.
Oh.
They might think you smoke before the show. You talk too much shit. You better be
For the
careful.
record,
Yeah.
and Stak will probably attest to this,
Yeah.
I have never, ever smoked weed in
Ever.
my life.
Until
Never.
today.
Ever. No, not even
Nah.
today. I won't be peer pressured.
There we go. A little too old for
I
that.
have no problem with people that do.
Right.
It's just not my thing.
Exactly.
I get high on life and
There you
high
go.
on other things.
Respect
but,
that.
It is so good to see. Oh my God! But I came in here. Look, first of all, Mad Max. People don't know Mad Max is here.
My
Bernie
guy.
Yes.
Maxwell.
My guy. Come on, man.
Y'all got a podcast because he's on the payroll now.
It's our brother.
With three crazy certified insane
Certified.
dudes that have the best podcast
Yeah.
out there.
Thank
And for
you,
me
my
to be
brother.
a part of it, I've known you guys for a while.
Long time, man.
I love and respect all you guys. And let's get into it,
an honor,
man.
man.
What do y'all want to know from me?
The feeling is definitely mutual. Let's get this out the way. Malice on the Palace. Let's go get this part out the way. A lot's been told about it. Me personally, I'm glad to see you because I've never had a chance to tell you that I'm sorry.
No.
Just let me finish though, because we all understood what our motivation was for that season. It wasn't for us. It was for you. The whole motivation for getting things done the right way and getting the championship was for you. So I never got a chance to apologize to you for my actions. Now, with me saying that, I love you even more because you defended me, because you knew that I was just being a loyal teammate. I wasn't, I wasn't out there being a thug or nothing like that. So it meant a lot to me. But we never had a chance to talk about it. During the time has passed, so much time has passed, how have your relationship been with guys that was involved and guys that was on our team?
First of all, I got to take a drink because told you I didn't want to go there, man.
I'm trying to hold mine in.
All right, let me You don't need to say that to me, man. Come on, man. So, you don't need to apologize to me. First of all, you young cats, and when I say young, I mean Jamal, Jermaine, Al, yourself, Ron. Those last few years in Indiana, my best years. I didn't have my superpowers, but I felt, and you guys made me feel like I was Superman. We had some dogs, man. We had a squad. That was arguably, and I played on some Indiana teams that were destined, should have, could have, but always came short. That team, we were stacked, man. We had the best interior defender in Jermaine. We had the best perimeter defender, in my opinion, to this day, in Ron. Just acquired a guy, and it's a lot like in 1994 when we traded for Byron Scott. And I know we're going to get into mentors and all that stuff. In 1994, under Larry Brown and all that, we got Byron halfway through the season, and he taught us what winning was all about, coming from the Lakers, him being a champion. You coming, having been a champion with these young guys. We had just lost to Detroit the year before without you, and we smacked them there, but you don't need to apologize because that's basketball, that's life. Shit's gonna happen. And even though we were shorthanded, I mean, you were 15 games or 30
Yep,
games?
15.
15 games. Started off at 30 though, right?
Mine got 30 game suspension. Yeah, you're right, it was 30.
Okay. Those last 4 to 5 months, when we were shorthanded, Band of Brothers, like when people talk about Band of Brothers, I mean, people forget we had to play the next night with like 5 or 6 guys because everyone was suspended.
Still made the playoffs.
And still made the playoffs. That was the best, man. You young cats.
You know what, Reg? So it bothered me because after, some time passed, I had a conversation with Rick, and he told me that they actually came to you before they signed me because they knew you were on your way out, and you actually vouched for me without even knowing me.
I knew your body of work, and that's all that mattered to me.
Well, when a guy like you, Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it, vouches for you, somebody.
I'm even going to take it a step further. When they came to me, I went to them and said, bring me off the bench. That dude needs to be starting. Think about what the starting 5 would have been with you and Ron in there. I was like, bring me off the bench. And Rick looked at me crazy. He's like, don't get ahead of yourself.
Same way I'm looking at you.
No, but that's how that's how I felt and perceived your game.
Mean a lot.
I was like, start him. He's like, no, think about this. And he knew I didn't have my superpowers that last year. Start you. Who's going to be able to guard this dude
Coming off
in the
the
second unit?
And that's how
We
it
got
worked.
him. We got him.
That's how it
I was
worked.
like, okay, but I'm just letting y'all know, I'm cool with it if this dude is starting, and I'm backing him up. I'm all right with that. But those were, people don't understand that night was surreal because Detroit they were the defending champs.
Yep.
We were coming off, in my mind, the replay loop of Tayshaun blocking my shit. I want to get back. I'm hurt. I'm in a cast.
Yep.
But we going in. See, I always prided myself doing stuff on the road. Everyone can play at home. Everyone's good. Everyone talks shit at home. Everyone, you got your girl, your family, whatever. Everyone. How are you with 12 versus 20,000 when you go into real enemy territory? That's how I always viewed myself, my game, my team, all my teammates. How are you when you go into someone else? We went into Detroit. We're like, we're going to make a statement. And we kicked the dog shit out of them.
We go 15.
Until.
Do you actually know what was said in the game? Because I don't know if you ever heard that story. Jamal Tinsley, I'm at the free throw line.
Yes.
He
Yes.
tells Ron, you can get your foul.
You can get your lick back.
And I turn around,
Yeah.
I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, so
Yeah.
when I heard that, Ron was guarding Ben. After I made the free throw, you see, I ran back down and pushed Ron off, and I guarded Ben.
Yeah.
And when they threw the ball to Ben, I just it's a total time running out, so I just let him score. And that's when Ron got the foul anyway. Wasn't even guard.
But what was the lick back? What had happened? What had led to
It
that?
was something from the previous, in the finals.
Okay.
In the East Conference Finals.
The year before.
The rivalry was built there. I wasn't there, so I didn't know. But I'm loyal.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
Which, to a point, they didn't like us. We didn't like them.
that's
Okay. All right.
That's what it is.
All right. I get it. But then once, and people, again, go back to the tape. And by the way, you and JL did a great job of putting this all in words and in film on the Netflix, Malice at the Palace.
Yeah, shout out, Jay.
I'm over there with Ron, just stroking him while he's laying on the scores table, thinking everything is diffused. Everyone's talking. I mean, that's how those scrums go. Everyone puffs out their chest and everyone breaks it up and tech here, double tech. Let's shoot some free throws. Let's get on out of here. That's what we thought because Ron didn't even see the cup coming. I did, in slow 3D motion.
Flying down.
Bam. And then I said to myself, oh shit.
And he was gone.
Bam, he turned into the Hulk. He turned green.
And that's bad.
And I tried to grab him, but he was gone. And I said to myself, it's ride or die. I mean, I didn't care about myself. I had to get him back into safety somewhere on the floor.
Yeah.
And I didn't care about suspensions at that point. I don't even know when you jumped in. Did you go when he went?
As soon as I saw him go, I hopped over. I'm gone. So I went right after him.
And it was, I mean, people think it lasted like, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. It was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It was quick.
Yeah, it was quick.
But there was a lot of damage done in that minute and a half. I don't know how. I think Chuck Person, somehow we got Ron back on the floor.
Yeah.
And it was even crazier on the floor with
They was trying to mace you. The police tried to
come up, has his mace out, and getting ready to spray Ron and I. I'm like, what is your problem? And he's like, we got to calm this situation down. I'm like, yes, you do. You see all those people that are coming down on the court?
Yeah,
go
for real.
get them. Yeah. We got this. We're at center court.
It was crazy.
It was. Then trying to get into the tunnel and the beer and the popcorn and the spit. Man, it was
bananas.
And it's funny, when it went down, the fans are deplorable. This is unacceptable. How can this happen? Immediately. Mm-hmm. That's when we were in the locker room. It's all about the fans. By the time we landed in Indiana, I felt we were all headed to Rikers Island.
Yeah.
But they flipped the whole narrative. Huh?
Everybody getting arrested. We getting arrested.
Stern called someone. Like, nah. It was us. We were the villains. And I mean, you started by saying calling yourself or someone called you a thug. I don't like that word. Mm-hmm. I don't like that word because they tried to put us under certain stereotypes, African American, black, however you want to call us. And it painted us they painted a picture of us that was not accurate.
Something we're not. Yeah.
Something none of us were. All of us weren't. And
it hurt some of us.
Nothing's guaranteed. Championships aren't guaranteed. You got a chip, you got a chip, Max got a chip. I came close. I could never get over the mountaintops. It's not guaranteed we would have won that year. But damn it, I would have loved to have seen us at full strength against whomever.
Doesn't matter.
Whomever. Because like I said, we had everything. We had scoring, we had defense, we could play slow, we could play fast with Jamal. We could play big, we could play small.
Was Jonathan Bender there at the time?
Yes.
We had youth.
Yeah.
I was the old head. We had everything. We were well coached. Carlisle, championship coach himself. But don't you ever apologize to me or to anyone else. That's life. That's basketball. Shit happens, man.
Yeah.
I was honored to be on that team. Again, y'all made me feel like Superman.
You were to us.
And I mean, just being around you cats every day in practice, it was a different. I came from Chris Mullin and Mark Jackson, Derek McKee. I mean, we were Sam Perkins. We were an old team that went to the not old, but veteran.
Older team.
Veteran.
Older team. Mm-hmm. And then once we got to the finals and lost to the Lakers, Jermaine comes in, Al Harrington, we drafted Al. I mean, we went younger. Mm-hmm. Larry's gone, Larry Bird is gone, Isaiah's in, so it was a different vibe, and that's just how it was. And I said to myself, how can I get Jermaine and Al Harrington, Baby Al, Jonathan, how can I get these young guys thinking like veterans and turn the switch as quickly as possible? Mm. Because I knew I only had so many years left. And that's, I rode them hard. Mm-hmm. I talked shit to them a lot because I wanted to see the name of this show, All the Smoke. I wanted to see if they can handle it. Because if they can't handle it from me in practice, how in the hell are they going to handle going into the Garden, going into Philly with AI, playing Detroit, the new bad. I mean, how y'all going to handle that if y'all can't handle me riding you every single day in practice? That's my job, is to ride y'all, get you to a place where nothing phases you. And they did. And, with the help of my David boys, because Al was with us with Dale and Antonio.
Yeah.
So he was around them a lot.
Yeah.
Same with Crow and Jeff Foster, Feisty. So they were around. They understood. When we walk with our chest out. We talk shit. We don't ever take a step back, man. Mm-hmm. Don't take a step back. If anything, take 2 steps forward. That's why when me going in the stands, you go in the stands, we're taking step forwards, man. I ain't taking a step back.
At all.
Okay, you can fire me, you can suspend me, you can talk shit about me all you want, but I'm gonna do what's right.
Yep.
That's my teammate that's going out there who just got assaulted with a cup full of beer. You don't know what was in that. And he's going to go handle his business. I have to go. I have to go. Because if you don't go, later on in the locker room, and you know how locker rooms are, you don't want to be called out. Man, you can be called man, you know.
Damn, Reg.
Come on, man. And then here's what's going to happen.
Footage gonna come out.
Film session. We're gonna be like this. Coaches, y'all go. Y'all can go. We're good. And slow-mo.
Yep.
Like, what you doing? Where are you? Hold on a second. Where are you?
That's how we
Hold
do
on.
it.
I'll rewind it. So what did you say? You said you were where?
Yep.
Holding each other accountable. That's why I wanted to get the young guys. We had to hold each other accountable, and it started with the young guys. I got to hold them accountable because they'll understand later on. You know, you had already won a chip because I'm sure Timmy,
Steve Smith.
they all held you accountable.
Kevin
You got to
Willis.
hold the young guys accountable because they're coming in young, loose, a lot of talent, but they don't know.
Don't know how to be a professional.
They don't know how to be a professional. Being on time. That was, for me, the best thing in my career that happened being drafted by Indiana was I came in with a lot of old dudes. Herb Williams, Vern Fleming, Clint Richardson, Steve Stepanovich, and my biggest mentor of all time there, John Long. I don't know if he was the two guard, and he had played 18 years himself, mainly with Isaiah and them in Detroit. And he knew he was just a placeholder until I took over. I never started a game my rookie year. I played anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes more, sometimes less. But every game, John, in 1987-88, and this is, you know, when you just had VHSs, every game, go over the scouting report, go over who you're playing, their tendencies, every single, who to talk shit to, who not to talk shit to.
Right.
This is what you can get away with. This official says this. Every game, he was 38 at the time, I'm 21. And I hung on every word. This, you want to stay in this? This is what you have to do. Film work, prep is key. And that's how I was molded. That's how I was taught. You come early, you stay late. When practice is over, practice is not over.
Right. Not if you're young.
Practice is not over. Practice is almost starting. You have a 2-hour practice, and back then they were 2.5, 3 hours because there was no regulation like there is now. When you're done with the 3-hour practice, you have another 45 minutes, hour of shooting that you got to do.
And then wait sometimes too.
What up, y'all? This is Matt
Your boy Stak.
from the All the Smoke podcast.
Big news. We're teaming up with the ultimate sneaker plug, StockX.
You see it. It's on our feed. Let me put you on to something real quick. If you're serious about sneakers and style, you need to be on StockX.
For the rash kicks to the latest releases, StockX gives you access to everything you need to level up your game. No more missing out, just straight up access to what's next.
Head to StockX.com or download the StockX app to level up your collection.
It's the game changer. StockX. Now you know.
Red, why do you think that the NBA moved away from veteran leadership and presence? We've harped our 5 years on this show, as I feel like that's what one of the things that the league is missing is, as you just spoke to, how important every word that your OGs gave you when you first came in the game. Why do you think the NBA has moved away from that?
Well, number one, I think the physicality in the game has moved away, where is the veteran. That's what veterans, because they've seen and done just about everything. And I think, let's face it, the league has gotten younger. You know, when guys started to come out of high school and they stopped that, then you had to go to college for 1 year. So now you're 19 or 20 coming in. So the league got younger, and I just don't think there was a point of it. Like, for me, looking at the Heat and them winning them championships, to have Udonis Haslem on that team, who may have played 100 career minutes out of those 18 years.
Right.
But Pat Riley said, nope, you sit your ass on that bench and you make sure that locker room is tight.
Yep.
And if anyone takes out D. Wade, anyone takes out LeBron,
Yeah.
You need that. You need that for championships. I'm sorry.
Every team had one.
Every team had them. And the physicality in our game is gone because you go to the replay now. So you can't get away with a check, an elbow, because now guys are flopping, and if you stay on the floor long enough, they have to replay. They have to go look at the replay, right?
That's
Before you used to be able to
Yeah.
chuck, hold,
Yeah.
hit.
It was a must.
Max, the biggest thing, and the plays are different. What is this called? Cross five,
Rough, yeah.
right?
Cross five.
So I had to go cross instead of screen on Shaq,
Yep.
on Patrick Ewing, on Elijah one. Cross five. Cross five. I'm 180 going, and you had to sacrifice. Again, because if you don't, in the locker room, you can't set a screen. You can't get me free.
Yeah.
So you had to sacrifice your body.
Absolutely.
And then if you didn't meet guys like Shaq at the free throw line or down the 3-point line, you buried
Yeah.
in the paint. You can't do nothing with
Nothing
that.
you can do.
You had to meet them up there.
Nothing you can do. And you had to take your licks. You had to take your punishment. You had to. You can't be a punk, man.
That's
Just-
right.
That's just how the game
You
works.
just
allowed.
it's different. I respect some of the aspects of the game now. But it's funny because starting Saturday, the officials are going to call it a different way now. So for 5 months, it was freedom of movement. You could shoot all the threes you want. So starting Saturday, all those fouls that Shea thinks he was getting, all that's going to stop because they're going to championships win on defense.
Right.
So it's going to be much more physical. We saw that in that playing game
Yep.
with Memphis and Golden State. You saw how physical that was?
Yeah.
They let a lot go. That's how it is because they let the players decide. I mean, there's a lot riding on this.
Right.
During the regular season, they want fans to come in. They want 130s and 40s and threes.
Scoring.
And, oh, my God, this is so great. But come playoff time,
Gotta buckle up.
watch how the points start to go down. And officials are told, swallow that. Suck on that lozenge in a little bit.
There you go.
Suck on it a little bit.
We'll get back to playing, but transitioning into sports media while you were playing, what was your thought process, and when did that come into fruition? That was something you wanted to try. Or
Well,
do?
what was cool that Cheryl was a part of it. Cheryl was working with first ABC, and then she transitioned over to TNT, so she was covering a lot of our games. So having to see how she prepped and being a part of that, I knew it was going to be an easy transition. And I got my feet wet, which was great, is when the WNBA started. And people forget the inaugural season, there was 3 networks, I believe. It was ABC, maybe NBC, and Lifetime. And Cheryl and I were part of Lifetime Television in the inaugural WNBA year. Michelle DeFoya was our play-by-play. And so that's how I got my feet wet of calling games and prepping. And
Were you done, or were you still playing?
No, I was still playing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 97, 98. So I'm have my superpowers, but I'm calling women's games.
Right.
And they told us then, since it was a new game and we were introducing them, they didn't want us to talk X's and O's for the women's. They wanted us to tell us stories. And so I was like, okay, that's great. So that kind of taught me mix in X's and O's of pick and roll or drops or whatever, but tell stories as well. So I was able to benefit from having both sides covering the WNBA. And then once that last year I knew it was up, I knew I was going into this type of feature, and I just didn't know with who at the time.
Joining NBC Sports as their first season back as a league partner after being on the other side for so long, what is that going to be like for you?
I've had some of my best moments as a player.
Man, right?
With
Come on,
NBC, right?
Saturday
And we all
games.
remember that. They're bringing that back. So to be a part of NBC and to be on network, I mean, I've been on cable for the last 19 years. And it's different to be when you're on
19?
network. Can you believe that? 37 years in professional basketball, 18 as a player and 19 with My only two things I've known for 37 years is two organizations, Pacers and Turnings, right? I mean, God is good.
Yeah.
God has been really good for me to have almost 40 years in the professional space and to have the best seats in the house, to be surrounded by great people, to be able to come on podcasts like this. It's a blessing because nothing is guaranteed in life. You know, I told you guys out there about fact or fiction, you know, having Cheryl.
I know it.
Man,
That's right.
y'all can talk all you want
Okay.
about who's the greatest.
All right, brother. That's right.
I know firsthand. See, not many people can say they grew up in a household with the greatest of anything, right? I can tell people, I grew up in the house with the greatest women's basketball player ever. I'll go to my grave on that. Because y'all don't understand how good and how talented she was and is as a person and as a storyteller. You guys know when she was here. Some of those battles, see, when we're playing fact or fiction, I'm going to tell you why the DNA is where it is. I blame Cheryl a little bit, but I blame our older brothers more so. They're 8 or 9 years older than us. Saul Jr. and Daryl. Daryl, as you guys know, played professional baseball for the Angels. Saul, the oldest, followed my dad into the Air Force, was there for 25 years. Saul Jr. is the best athlete out of all of us. People just don't know it because he never played, he never did anything. Those 2-on-2 games. And the problem is, since Saul was the oldest, he always got to pick who he was playing with. So he always picked Cheryl. Daryl's a baseball guy, and he was stuck with me, and I was stuck guarding Cheryl. And he was torching Daryl, so Saul Jr. Those games in the backyard of 2-on-2, that's why I don't fear anything. If you guys have older brothers and a military dad, I don't fear anything.
When did that tide start to turn for you in those games? At what age?
Well, Cheryl was always taller than I was, younger. But the tide, fact or fiction, I would say my freshman year.
She's 1 year older than you,
She's
right?
1 year older, yeah. Cheryl's 1 year older. And I've seen her do things because we used to go looking, her and I. We'd go all around the IE because we wanted everyone. We'd go to Banning. We went to all the bad neighbors. Banning, Rubidoux, San Bernardino. And we went looking like, we didn't look for another, we weren't looking for dudes. We want to play y'all. Let's go. Y'all think y'all? Let's go. And we'd get into scraps and things. And then before cell phones, fight broke out. We had to get to a payphone to call Saul. Hey, it's popping out. We need help. They'd come on down. Other than that, y'all handle your business. So that's how the DNA of, like, we always went looking for games. We always went looking. And that just built up that tenacity of always coming. And we didn't win them all, but
He was in it.
You got out there.
we were in it. But people don't understand. I love Maya Moore. She might be next on my list. Candace, Diana Taurasi. I love them all. But I'm telling you guys.
I'm telling you.
Which one is my camera?
Yeah, right here.
That's Cheryl.
Man.
Cheryl's my one and Cynthia's my two.
Man. And here's the thing.
Cheryl's my one. Sure.
Cynthia Cooper was coming off the bench.
I know.
She was riding. She was their sixth man with the McGee twins and Cheryl.
Right.
I mean, they had they were
Cold.
outdrawing the men.
Yep.
It was like literally a show. It was like Magic and Kareem and James. It was that.
Yeah.
They were that big, and they were just. And I love the women's game is there. Finally, it's there.
Yes.
But I've known this my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You
oh,
grew
now
up
y'all
with
want to
it.
jump on board?
You grew up with it.
Now y'all want to jump on board?
Does it pain you a little bit that she didn't get her chance to play in the W?
I just wish, in today's social media environment and landscape, everyone has YouTube and clips and all that. They haven't seen her, and that's what burns me, because trust me, I've seen it up close. Personally, against me,
You seen jumpers in your face.
and it just wasn't me, by the way, in Riverside. It just wasn't me. I wasn't the only guy. I've seen it, and she would put on absolute clinics and barely breaking a sweat. It was like easy for her. And there was only one woman. She raised an eyebrow. That was like, oh. And I asked her about this. Lynette Woodard. I don't know if you guys know who.
I heard the name for sure.
She's actually the all-time leading scorer, right?
Yes, that
Yeah.
Caitlin just broke.
Yeah.
Cheryl would raise an eyebrow like, I might have to go to bed early that night. Everyone else, she was like, next,
You can get a
next,
drink.
next. She did next. No one.
Where did your guys' passion come from? Your pops grew up in the.
We grew up traveling a lot, being a military family. We lived in Martinac, North Dakota, Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. We settled in Riverside. Growing up in a military household, for those of you who don't know, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Everyone had chores. Everyone had something to do. Respect, being on time, honor. If you say you're going to do something. If you don't like something, you don't like a coach, so make it work. None of this, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go. I mean, there were some coaches I played with in college and in the professional ranks. I'm not going to go to Donnie Walsh. I have to make it work. It's on you. So that discipline came from Saul Miller Sr., because he didn't play. And I think we were more scared of our mom than we were him, because she was a reflection of Pops. And she was a stay-at-home. He worked at March Air Force Base, and we knew not to get out of line because no one wanted to see that switcher belt. Sorry, y'all, that's what happened back then.
Yeah.
It used to be the worst. My dad, but my mom was the same, a stay-at-home mom, and if I fucked around too much and
you didn't want to go.
her whooping, he go sit in your room till your dad gets home. Oh, that's the worst.
Oh,
shit.
But one of the worst was this too, when they make you go get
Pick
the
it.
switch.
yeah,
Pick it.
yeah.
To whip
You
your
see that
ass
tree
with.
out there?
Right.
I wanted about this long.
Y'all ever had the one when they wait till you get out the tub?
Fresh out the shower.
As soon as you get out the tub and they come in there with the belt, oh, that's the worst one.
That's the mask pop.
That's the worst one.
So that's
Sorry, Mom.
how the DNA started in the family. Was obviously a military background, but my brothers, they molded Cheryl and I, and Tammy. Tammy's 3 years younger than me, but they helped mold us. They don't get enough credit for what they were doing, was making us competitive. Making us everything. Clue, Uno, spades.
Everything was competitive.
Everything was a game.
Hell yeah.
Everything.
The good old days. The NBA playoffs are in full swing.
Stak, what's one word to describe playoff basketball?
Intense.
Right now, you can get in on all the playoff action with my partners at DraftKings Pick 6. It's a fresh and exciting way to play daily fantasy sports.
All new customers who play just $5 will get $50 in Pick 6 credits to keep you in the game.
So download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Sign up using code SMOKE and claim your offer.
Getting started is simple. Just download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and sign up with code SMOKE. Pick at least 2 players and choosers that have more or less of a stat.
Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Sign up using code SMOKE. Only at DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours.
Jesus.
God damn, bro. You okay over there?
Man, this is crazy, man. These girls won't stop hitting my phone, bro.
I thought you just said you was dry a couple weeks ago.
Well, man, I've been using these Ro Sparks, man, and I guess the word is out on me, man.
Is it?
Yeah, man.
Because last thing I heard, you got a bad case. That's why you got to shave your facial hair.
Nah, no more flatlining, baby boy.
You're back.
I'm back, man.
Man, I might need to try these. Like, what's the process with them?
You put one of the lozenges under your tongue, man, and on average, it's 15 minutes, man, and you ready to go. And let me
that
tell
right?
you, bro, it works, bro.
Looks like you're confident. Everything is going good with you.
Absolutely, bro. And the ladies are super satisfied.
Are they?
Man. Come on, man.
You're
You know
back,
what I'm
huh?
saying? Come
You
on,
ain't
man.
been back. You ain't really been back since like 98, 99,
Oh
though.
man, come on, don't do me like that, man. I'm back. I'm current right now.
Yeah,
baby.
up
It's
there.
all about getting back in the game.
You feeling good?
Absolutely, man. I had the flat tires, man, and now I'm burning rubber.
Yeah. Are you using rubber, though?
Good Lord. Well, at my age, man, you're not supposed to, but I'm still doing it, baby boy. Let me tell you, it's part of my budget now.
Well, congratulations, man. I'm glad you're back in the game.
I appreciate it. I really do.
No doubt.
If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks for your first order on a recurring plan. Connect with your provider at ro.co/smoke to find out if prescriptions of Ro Sparks is right for you. That's ro.co/smoke for $15 off your first order. Any truth that your form came from trying to shoot over Cheryl?
Yep.
Talk to us about that.
Fact.
That's that. Okay, that's a
Fact. Because, again, she was 3 to 4 inches taller than I was, trying to get over her. Mm-hmm. Boom. Boom.
Blocking it.
How in the hell am I going to? So I would step back further. Boom. So then I was able to get a high arc. And for some reason, the only way, because I wasn't strong enough, is I crossed my hands. And it just, Jack knows the click. Mm-hmm. And that's how that started. And I started moving further back. And then, like I said, it just, in ninth grade, when we were almost the same height, that's when it took off. First step came, my shooting was down, but that's fact, yes. Her blocking my stuff.
You just said something. Why is this generation making it seem like the step back shot is just coming?
I know.
You've been doing it forever.
And I got it a lot from Kiki Vandeweghe,
Okay.
from UCLA, from our one-on-one battles. He was like, this is an unstoppable move. And if you can do it left and right, you'll play a long time. Yeah. So that's where I really honed it in. But I've been doing it. Now, a lot of the guys today, I don't know what's a travel or what's
They
not.
take 4 steps.
The James Harden and
That's 4 steps.
wow. I was like, man, if I could have done that versus Mike, shit, I might be the GOAT. If I could have done that against Mike,
4 steps.
4 steps, shit, I needed all 2.5 against him. If I can get 4.
Talk to us about your childhood, and you had a hip deformity, and you were in metal leg braces as a kid. What age range was that for you?
From 2 to about 6.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Both my
Reggie
legs
Gump.
were like this, out, and I had to wear them to bring them back in. Mm-hmm. This one ended up being normal. This one, if you see me without pants on, my knee still kind of goes this way, even like, so my feet are straight now. This knee goes this way, like this one's lined up, this one's kind of this way. And that was the most frustrating thing, is being inside with my mom in the kitchen, window, watching Cheryl, Saul, Durrell, and Tammy to a degree, but those 3, playing knockout around the world, corkball.
Couldn't do none of it.
I'm just in there with mom, and she said, your time will come. Mm-hmm. Your time will come. I'm like, but when? And they didn't even think I was going to be able to run even when I got them off, I'm like, forget that. I'm going to Wilma Rudolph. She wore braces too, and look what happened to her.
Fast as hell.
So I had to get out there with them. I mean, it's something to be said about having big families, you know.
Yeah.
You want to be a part. You don't want to be left out.
Don't want to be last.
You
Don't
don't
want
want
to
to
be left out.
No. I had to be out there with them.
But just that support system of knowing what to say to you to keep your confidence. You know what I'm saying? Going through that. As a kid, you don't know, where if you're going to be able to ever run right. Or,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to have that support system to keep that confidence in you, like
Right.
a lot of people, that's a blessing to have.
Right. And it's funny because if you watch me run, I mean, I run like this. It's always out. I mean, you can kind of see how it's just always out. So I run weird, but it's effective because, I never had any knee issues, no ACLs.
Still cycling.
Cycling has helped, it was frustrating, but I think it was a blessing in disguise because it made me even more hungrier to do, because my first love was baseball.
Okay.
That was basketball I picked up secondary. I wanted to be the next Rod Carew. I wanted to be like Durrell. I wanted to play baseball. Baseball was that was going to be my in. And I was everything in Little League, pitch, hit, I could do everything. Got better in pony. And then once high school came, I was like, okay, I'm going to settle in. I'm going to be center field. I can control the outfield. And I was a great pitcher in Little League. And the high school coach said, you're going to pitch. I'm like, the mound is different. In Little League, the mound is here to here. Of course I'm throwing fast. Once you get to high school, the mound is moved back. I'm like, I'm not going to pitch. She's like, oh, you're going to pitch. I'm like, no, I'm not going to pitch. I'm going to play center field if you want me to play. It's like, no, you're going to pitch. I'm like, that's when I started concentrating on basketball and track. I mean, and I so wanted to be a two-sport. I still wanted to do that, but I stuck with basketball and a little bit of track, and that was it.
I think it worked out all right.
It worked all
All
right.
right, just all right.
But I wish I could have played baseball at UCLA if that would have happened, because I think I would have been decent.
Speaking of UCLA, you were there early enough to not see any three-point lines for a little bit of your college time.
My last year was the first year they
First year they
introduced
brought the
it.
three-point line in.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? When did you realize, obviously your form and being able to shoot deep came from the family, but when did you realize, once that line came in, this is something I can be consistent in it?
The pro game had it, and being at UCLA, and you guys know this because you guys have been up there, those summers.
Men's gym. That was the next question, actually.
So I'm going to put it all in one.
Put it all together.
For those of you who don't know, especially, and this is in the mid-'80s, late '80s, the men's gym was the mecca of summer basketball.
No question.
Because you would have Magic and the Lakers, and this is the height of
Showtime.
Lakers and Showtime and Boston, that whole rivalry. And during the summer, you would have a Lakers team, you would have a team of pros that were hanging out all summer, you would have our UCLA team, the A and B team. So you had 4 teams, and you had 2 courts,
Go.
and started at 3 and ended at about 5:30. Games to 10 by ones, and so I knew going against the pros. And I know we want to talk about mentors and all that. I talked about John Long. The reason why I'm even on this show, in this position, almost 40 years in the professional space, if it's not for Byron Scott, Michael Cooper,
Cool.
those 2 guys in particular, taking me under their wing when I was a freshman, I hung on every word. Because again, remember now, these are the Lakers,
Right.
Showtime, and those 2 dudes at that position, my position, I wanted to know everything.
And you're an LA kid.
And right.
Right.
I'm an LA kid, Riverside to be exact.
Yeah. I know the difference. But
And the Lakers are everything, though I patterned my game after Larry Bird. So I was conflicted because I wanted the Lakers to win everything, but I wanted Larry Bird to do well because that was the guy I wanted to play like. So I hung on every word that Coop and B. Scott would tell me. This is how you got to work, moving without screens and all that. Byron, he would literally walk me through this during the summers. Do this, look at their feet, look at their chest, look at their waist, look at their hands. This is how you throw them off. Grab by the wrist, act like you're going one way, throw them. All the little tricks. Sorry, Vernon, I used to do that to you a few times too.
I learned that. You taught me that.
Just all kinds of tricks. So I knew I could shoot with them, but preparing and prepping with them, that's what made me believe I could shoot. And when the three-point line came in my last year, it was 19-9. I'm like, I've been shooting 25, 30 footers
Right.
since high school. So I knew it wouldn't be anything.
I don't know if you remember this, but it was 2009-10 season, and I somehow tracked your number down because I was guarding Ray Allen in the playoffs, and I wanted to ask you how the fuck do I slow him down coming off screens, and you gave me the grab the wrist, the grab the shorts, and some other things.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I remember that, and obviously I didn't stop him, but just getting
Slow
those
him
kind
down.
of tricks just to
You
slow
got
him
to
down.
slow him down because, Ray would be great in today's game.
Oh, man.
If you can't hold
Yeah.
the freedom of movement that they want, oh my God.
Yeah.
Rip Hamilton.
Yeah,
Well, Reggie, you would too, though.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Shit, all that pushing and shit you was doing. You'd have been good too, shit. You'd have been good today, boy. Shit. I got to put that in there.
The offensive players in today's game has such an advantage, right?
Yes.
You almost had to draw blood to get open against Vernon. You almost had to. And then if you got open, you had Otis Thorpe.
Long as shit.
And if you
Thanos.
drive into the hole, you're driving into.
The dream.
Don't you come in here. Don't you come in here.
Back to the men's gym. Was Magic calling bullshit fouls back in the 80s?
God.
Was he?
Oh my God.
he?
Don't be.
Oh, man.
Phantom calls.
man.
There was an A court and a winner's court and a loser's court. A court, B court.
he ain't never getting
Man,
off
the
the A
Lakers always stayed on the winning
No
court.
matter what.
Max,
No matter what. I'm
he
already
could
knowing.
go to a hole and be wide open and miss the layup. Oh, woo! You're like,
He
are
calling
you
fouls
kidding
for his
me?
teammates. He don't even call him for. He calling for his teammates. If like you said, if Max would have missed the shot, he was on. No, that's a foul. Bring that back, young fella. Bring that back. Bring that back.
And the only time this didn't happen, it was one magical. I don't know how this happened. Oh, I do actually know how it happened. It was the first year of Magic's Midsummer's Nights game, the very first year, and it was in Pauley Pavilion before it moved to the Forum. And he had everyone because it was the first year. And Larry came out. And before that game actually happened, so Larry was out maybe 2 days ahead of time for these pickup runs. And Larry walks in, right? So you have the Lakers, you have the selection of pro players, UCLA A and B team. So of course Larry says, all right, I want to be on that, selection of pro teams. And everyone's like, oh my God, Larry, Magic. They didn't like,
Yeah.
that was the first time I saw a Buck like, okay. There ain't gonna be none of this bullshit you're calling on today.
right. Yeah.
Because Larry was like,
Larry wasn't having it.
Larry wasn't having it. Larry was not having it. And it was like, there's no footage. No one knows.
Had to be there.
Oh my God, some of the passes, and then Coop and Larry really didn't like one another. I mean, really didn't like one another. No, I got him. Coop, I got him. I want him. I'm like, oh, this is what I was learning.
Right,
This
that's
is
crazy.
This is all going into the DNA. This is what I'm like. Okay. I mean, again, never take a step back. Take two forward. Don't ever take a step back. No, I want him. I don't care if it's summer league. I want him. I'm like, oh man, this is good. So UCLA, we're over there going like, oh my God, you see that? This is unbelievable. You're talking all this shit. I mean, this shit is for real. This is how we grew. Right. So as a 18, 19-year-old kid, you're like, okay. And that was it for my 4 years at UCLA. Every summer was like that. Oh, how are you really want to get to the next level? Okay, well, meet us on Drake Stadium.
Run the stairs.
At 7:30.
Run them stairs.
We're gonna run them stairs.
yeah.
And do you remember at Drake they had that pull-up bar
Yep, on
in the
far
end zone, right? And it was great about that pull-up bar. It was like for tall people, like you had to jump up and do. And Malik Mansour, who was one of the guys who was doing workouts. Yep, we're going to do King Kongs, we're going to do fronts. And then, they're like, you don't have to get in the weight room and get big, Because at UCLA, they were like, oh, you got to get bigger, you're bigger. And Coop and, no, you got to get strong. You ain't got to get big. You got to get strong. Meet us on the track. It's like, are y'all really going to be there? It's like, I put it to you like this. If you ain't there, if you come at 7:31, you can't work out with us. Man, I was there at 7 o'clock. Sure enough, 7:25, those dudes roll up. These are champions.
Right.
Man, what? To be exposed to that?
Yeah, different.
Yeah, we got a taste of that too. I mean, to me, I credit that getting us over the hump. I mean, we had so much talent, but those summer runs, like you said, from the time I'm 17, just turning 18, playing with Kobe and Shaq and Wall,
man.
all these guys, it's like every single day in your face.
Every day, religiously, playing with the best.
It made you rethink your life plan a couple days. Some of the rough days make you think like, damn, am I gonna be able to do this? Rest in peace to the great Lute Olson. You and Lute had some battles.
Damn, Lute. Damn Arizona Wildcats. Damn Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Damn Craig McMillan.
Was Bushler there then too, or no?
Yeah, Bush. Yeah. Sean Elliott.
Yeah.
Oh, ratchet place. It's ratchet. Here's the problem, not the problem, and why Lute Olson and I, before he took Arizona, I believe he was the head coach at Iowa, and he was recruiting me, and I wasn't going to go to Iowa. And then when he got the job at Arizona, I thought about it, I considered it, but being a hometown kid, everyone wanted to play for the Bruins. Everyone wanted to be a UCLA Bruins, KTLA, Channel 5. You knew where your games were. Everyone wanted to be part of the Wooden system. So I went there. He went to Arizona and turned it into a powerhouse. I'll give him all the credit. But man, Hatfields and McCoys. Of course, UCLA USC is yes, but our next was Arizona. We hated them. They hated us. They hated me in particular because I just loved going in there and
busting their ass.
But a few times I crossed the line. But
Who's counting?
I mean, it's college. There's no footage, I don't think. So
Right. Never happened.
never happened.
When did shit talking become a weapon for you?
I think it goes back to Cheryl blocking my shit in the rose bushes and Saul and Durrell. I mean, that's all we. But there's an art to it, and there's a way to it, because you don't want to make it too. I mean, you're not out there talking about people's mamas and families.
Exactly.
You ain't doing that.
It ain't personal.
You got to do a little homework too,
Yeah.
to know a person's DNA and personality and what triggers them.
Yeah.
Like people, and I want people to understand this. I love me some John Starks. A lot like that dude over there will run through a wall and will do whatever it takes to win. I love dudes like that. But unlike Mad Max, Starks could be triggered. And I knew that.
I knew that.
And I would play not only on his emotions, but I knew if I talked to Oak and Patrick in earshot of him, like I'm talking to Patrick Ewing during the game about Starks, it would trigger him because he couldn't control his emotions, because he was just, he came almost from nothing. He was bagging groceries. They found him, and now he's playing in the number one media market on the number one stage in MSG. So he would do whatever to stay there. And so you have to do a little homework on your opponent. So that's how I used it. And a lot of times I would talk shit to get myself going too.
Yeah. Self-motivation,
Yeah.
Fact or fiction? Your old AOL email address started with the letters TT for trash talker.
talking.
Trash talker.
Trash talking Wayne.
You've got mail.
How do y'all know that shit? Damn, that's good.
They told you
Trash
Dylan was the
talking
GOAT.
Wayne.
They told you Dylan was the GOAT.
TT Wayne. Yeah, that's right.
Fact or fiction?
Yes.
You bought dictionaries in different languages before the Olympics so you could
Yes,
talk
I
shit
did.
to other.
Facts. Facts. Yes, I did. And I was butchering the language, but they
understood
knew
enough.
what I was trying to say. Fact. Yes. Because I wanted them to know.
I'm here, baby.
Yeah, in their own language, you getting this. Yes, fact.
Hell yeah.
Is it true that you lost the bet to Spike Lee, you had to visit Mike Tyson in jail?
Very fact. And
Can
I
you
lived.
tell us that story?
So that first year in '94, that series that went in epic 7 games, the whole choking 25-point quarter, that whole episode series, we made a bet. We win. At the time, I was married. He would put my wife in cameo spot in one of his films. If they win, at the time Mike was incarcerated in Indiana on a rape charge, I had to go visit the champ. I'm like, okay. Obviously, they ended up winning. That summer, I think it was mid-June, I go to the facility. I'm like, hey, I'm here to see the champ, Mike Tyson. And the guard was like, obviously he knew the series, he knew everything that had gone down. Okay, well, I'll go get him. Just take a seat right there. I'm like, okay. 5 minutes goes by. He'll be out in another 5 minutes. I'm like, okay. 15 minutes goes by. 20, half hour, hour and a half. I'm like, he knows I'm here to see him, right? He's like, Mike got in an altercation with one of the guards.
Shit.
I think he broke a guard's jaw. He will not be coming out to see you.
Damn.
I was like, did he really do that? I don't know if that was true or if that was the story they were telling me or he was embarrassed to come see me because he had to have known what was online because it was national news that this was the bet between Spike and I. But I was there for 2 hours. I don't know if he broke a guard's jaw or not, but I wouldn't put it past him to have done that.
No question. No question.
So that's a fact.
Mike might look at some people's jaw and just
Yes.
break.
Yes.
It's gonna jump out the way.
You have any favorite foreign swear words that you use
you
when you
still
talking
remember?
shit?
Any what?
Swear words, foreign, that you use when
I
you
have
talking
no
shit.
idea. No,
Didn't remember none of them.
none.
I wouldn't either.
How did you guys find that out? That was only a select few. Who found that one
They
out?
told you about Dylan before. You can't. Dylan is.
Damn. Very good. Very good. And the one I tried to do, this is before the Olympics, and it's funny because I saw when Mad Max was in this seat talking about him. There was one dude.
Petrovich.
Shit.
Yeah.
God. Killer.
God damn it.
Motherfucking Mike to him.
All right, for those of you who do not know who Drazen Petrovic is,
Oh, Lord.
man, and I tell people this, Curry is the GOAT of all shooters. Look, I'll give him all that. But before him, man, you could be this close to the mic. You could be this close to him.
Didn't matter.
And not only is he giving it off, he's telling you about it too.
Oh, you talking shit to you?
What?
He have good English or broken English?
Broken good English. Oh,
Yeah, you don't know what the hell he's saying, but he head just bobbing. He's talking shit.
giving it to you.
Killing you.
Giving it to you.
Gotta treat that.
I mean,
treat that motherfucker
Look.
like Mike.
I didn't get frustrated against a lot of players. That dude, listen to me. And then on top of that, you got Derek fucking Coleman, is backing him up. And you know how crazy DC is,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
This dude was the best shooter, catch and shoot, 1 dribble, 2 dribble. He did not miss. No, literally. And I said to myself, how in the hell was he not playing in Portland? But you had Clyde there. But when he got to New Jersey, good Lord. Good Lord.
Lord, what's the top?
Oh, my God.
Ooh, Lord.
Cold, huh?
Stak.
That-
I mean, you could be. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Single, double, motion. And God rest his soul. Smelled terrible.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord.
Smelled
Yo,
terrible.
Awful.
That's foreign
and
scent.
you had to be all on him.
Oh,
That's
smell
the
like
foreign
shit.
scent. He ain't the only
If
one
you-
that had
Max,
it. I
am
played
I
with
wrong,
some.
Max?
On the arm hit you ain't gonna be like that all
Max,
night. You can
am I
take
wrong?
a shower, that shit still gonna be with you. He stinks like a
Come on, man. And so not only is he giving it to you, talking shit to you, but after the game,
You gonna
I mean,
smell
your
it.
teammates are like, damn,
That's you?
man, hop in the shower.
Man, that's crazy.
Man.
That's a part of his package, huh?
But look, I want to tell you, because I want to give an education of other guys
Matt
that
said
people
part of
don't
his
know about, because that would give you buckets. Mad Max will know this. Here's another name for you guys that would give you buckets, and that came out of my draft. And there was 3 of us. There was Reggie Williams, please, myself, but there was another Reggie that would bust your behind.
Lewis?
Reggie Lewis would give you
business.
buckets.
Oh my goodness.
And again, he had the luxury of having Larry Legend and Kevin McHale and all them dudes in his DNA. Reggie Lewis, y'all. God rest his soul.
Rest in peace, yeah. Bucket
What a walking bucket.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Boston,
Right?
and kind of in that era, Boston lost 2 young greats, Lynn Bias and
I
Reggie
mean, think
Lewis.
about the championships they would have had
With those
if Lynn
two.
would- I mean, Lynn, and Larry was still Larry. He
Yeah.
had his superpowers when they drafted Lynn Bias. So Lynn Bias learning under Larry Bird
Would've been
with
scary.
with a superpower.
Would have been scary.
So you got so wrong with you, dog.
Me?
Yes, dog.
Why? What happened?
You said the smell was part of his package.
That was in his bag, wasn't it? The smell was in his bag. It's part of the game. So obviously your shit talking is so legendary. You're one of the very few, or maybe the only person that got into a fight with Kobe and MJ. What kind of homework did you do for both them dudes?
I just think they got in the fights because they got tired of chasing this nigga. Like, man, slow down, Reggie. Goddamn. I can't take the ball.
All right, I've been waiting.
Okay, yeah.
I've
here we
been
go.
waiting because people always ask me, and I've been waiting for the right forum to tell these stories.
Welcome to Death Row. I mean, all the smoke.
We're honored.
We will start with the MJ fight.
Shall we watch them? We shall.
Little trip down memory
But
lane.
you got to go back. Got to go back to when they have the ball.
Oh shit.
So
here
go
we
back. Go back.
Hold on, he got to pull the whole clip up.
Pull the whole clip up.
There we go.
Yeah. So this is it. Look, watch this. 1,
Yep.
2.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's a
okay.
mean one.
I tried to get him there, and he got out the way. So I was like, all right, tip in.
Got you now,
I'm
bitch.
going straight to him. Let him know. Okay. I had to hurry up and turn around because I didn't want him to come and like chokehold me.
He tried to rake you.
So I'm like, okay, we both get into we get into this. He scrapes my eye, like you can't see.
Like he
No,
was
I saw
scratching
him
you. Like
rake
he
you.
was trying to scratch you.
I saw him rake you like that.
Right? So all this goes down. This is in MSA, by the way. We're at home. We are at home in Market Square Arena playing Michael Jordan and Chicago Bulls. So this shit goes down. Ronnie Nunn. Yeah.
No good, motherfucker. No good.
Ronnie
motherfucker.
Nunn comes in, breaks it all up. They huddle up. I'm thinking, okay. So back in the day, a lot of it, look at this. Scratch the crap out of me.
15-yard face
Look at
mask.
this.
Yeah.
But look, I'm holding him and controlling him.
Shit. God damn.
I'm like, okay, but you ain't going anywhere. Again, those pull-ups.
Drake Stadium.
So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we'll get double technicals. Maybe if I get thrown out, he's going to get thrown out. We both are throwing. Jess Kersey, man. Okay, Jess. I had had a fresh dew for the
I was
game.
about to say that cut was clean,
Hold
Reg.
on,
Wasn't
hold
it?
on. So,
Just you got kicked out the game. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
wow.
You guys both threw punches.
MJ threw by 3.
They ain't never throwing Mike at them.
Who's shooting free throws right now?
You fouled him, Reg.
They ain't throwing Mike at no motherfucking game.
In our building.
That's
Maybe in
crazy.
Chicago. In our building,
And he's shooting the technicals too. God damn.
45 on us. Not that he wouldn't have scored 45 with me in the game, but shit, give me a chance. In our building.
MJ threw 3 punches on
So
the
then the
road
league-
and didn't get kicked out the
So
game.
then
That's
the league,
crazy.
The next day, I got a 1-game suspension,
You got kicked out and a game suspension.
and he got 3 games. So why did he get 3 games then?
Right.
And
But
it wasn't
still
kicked
got to
out.
stay in the game. Wow.
So they let him play the game, dissuspended it 3 games.
And then suspended him.
And that's how they did me at the San Francisco Pro-Am.
Come on, man. Because Mike's in
That's
town.
Mike, man. I told you, you
Man.
come in your town, all the bitches
Mac,
got
hey,
their
Mac
jerseys
said
on.
when Mike came to Houston, all his women started wearing
Here's the
MJ
thing. Yeah,
jerseys.
here's the thing, man. You would see these. You would see. You know, you go out to a club or whatever, bar or whatever, and you see these same chicks, real regular. You come to a Bulls game. It's like, why are you dressed like it's Sunday church, man?
You know, saying I told y'all about this.
Like,
shit. Mike come in your city, them
cracking.
bitches coming out right.
man.
They thinking they finna get married or hit. One of them thinking they're gonna get hit by Mike. Mike ain't thinking about that. Mike coming out.
Of my whole career, one thing I wish or regret, and people will say, I wish I would have had more than one series versus that dude. I'm not saying I would have won. We would have won. Probably not. But you're judged by,
Those big wins.
I won a few battles.
Man, that's funny.
He always won the wars. He's got 6 of them. And we took him 7 games. I just wish we'd have had more. I wish I could have gone against him more.
He had a lot
Again,
of...
and I don't want people jumping on the internet. I'm not saying we would have beat them.
Just wanted
It
the
probably would have
smoke.
been the same thing.
Just wanted that smoke.
But man, I want to see.
Show
I
me.
got confidence. I want to see how I am versus that dude.
I'm going to do my thing, too.
I want to see how I am versus that dude.
He obviously had a lot of respect and spoke highly of you, but what was different when you played a game against him in the Bulls?
I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for Max. There was no weaknesses. Try to force him left. You try to force him right. You try to top lock him. You try to hold. You try to be physical with him. I equate it to like this. It was like, and maybe this is how centers feel when they were going against Shaq. He was Shaq of shooting guards. I don't care. There was no way you could get around him in front of him. He was just too strong. And then he had a 48-inch vertical. So you were never blocking his shot.
I got a 50.
And he could stop on a dime, his handles, and then he held the ball like it was like an orange. So he's taunting you, holding the ball on your face, the tongue is all out and shit, and chewing the fucking gum and all that shit. And then he come down, and the black eyes are looking at you, and I'm looking right back at him. Yeah, motherfucker, I ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And he's looking at you, and man, no weaknesses, none, zero. I could look. I love tape. I'm watching. I'm always trying to find a tail, and I found a tail on everyone.
Not him.
I could not find a tail, not one. Damn. Like, okay, if he goes left X amount of times, what is his percentages? Great, right, great. Step back, great,
Greater.
fadeaway, great. Rebounding, great. Passing, great. You can't punk him. I'm trying to find something. So it's almost like shit by committee. Derek, the key.
Come on.
I mean,
We got to get some help down this motherfucker. Come on now. Don't be here. I've been calling
I ain't too
motherfucker.
proud to
Hey,
beg.
Come on now. This motherfucker.
I ain't
you
too
got-
proud to beg.
That's what I'm
man.
trying
The
to tell
toughest
you.
shot in basketball, which is the fadeaway, he shot that shit
I mean-
at a high clip. That's the toughest shot
And
in
you
basketball.
cannot
get
block
to.
it. You can't
But
get
s-
it.
But see,
it's faded away and it's at 48 inches.
yeah, when he got to learn how to put his back to the basket and get in that post, that's when he got.
And
really-
then
it got crazy.
he would do the
He get-
Elijah one.
Yeah, he get
He get
the
that.
shimmy
so
shake shit on you.
He
Oh,
gets you
Lord.
leaning.
Oh my goodness.
And him and maybe Max can attest to this. Pick and rolls. Don't let your big be one step too. He's splitting. And then
Look out.
Now it's up to Dale and Antonio. Good
Look out
luck.
below.
Good luck.
Hey, now he's your problem
Good
now.
luck. Good luck.
Somebody finna get banged on.
He's out of my
he's your
airspace.
problem now if he splits. But then when you would extend him to half court, he would get this shoulder
Down and
or
go
this
around.
shoulder, which way he was coming off, and get under the big, and then it's downhill. So now, if you're trailing, as shooting guards are, you got to get under, and then and on top of that, he could shoot. He could shoot.
They talked about it. I seen a lot of videos about his athleticism, but I seen the video recently when he got a tip ball and they passed to him. He went up off vertical on Charles Barkley. That shit was so bad. I'm like,
That's another thing that people don't understand. Not only could he's known for, the two-handed, but he could one leg too.
Yeah.
Either leg too.
yeah.
Either leg. Like it was, and be out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, smoking, drinking, whatever.
Yeah.
Cracking.
It's going
Playing
down.
cards.
Yes, all this shit.
Games at 7:30.
Sometimes he'll go play golf the same day he play.
Man, it's almost like he was trying to make it fair.
Let me go get a buzz and some heat strokes so you guys can have a chance tonight.
Man. Didn't have a tail, guys. And you hear it all the time. Who's the GOAT? Who's the greatest? And all that between, him and LeBron. And I try to stay away from that because I went against LeBron his first year. He was a rookie. My last year. So I don't have no point of reference. But I will say LeBron has the greatest career.
I say that all the time.
He has the greatest career.
Right.
But Mike is the best.
Basketball player ever.
But LeBron has the greatest career. And I think why a lot of old heads want to dog out LeBron is because they were never as good as he is this late in their career.
Right.
And they want to get on him for that.
Yeah.
LeBron, at 22 years in, at 40, whatever he is, and is about ready to be first or second team All-NBA.
25, 8, and 8.
As old guys, they were never call them all out.
Some of them wasn't this good in their prime.
That's the thing.
Straight up, they wasn't.
And for him to be this good, this long,
Incredible.
you got to say he has the greatest career.
By far.
But is he the best? That's greatest and best is two different things. And I think that's why old heads are getting it mixed up. And they don't want to give LeBron his due.
Yep, he deserved it.
He deserves that. I mean, we all wish we could be playing like him in year 22.
50,000 points.
In any year, period.
I mean,
Crazy.
he's about ready to be on one of the all-NBA teams at 40.
40. Bro, it's been a long day of work, man. I'm ready to get baked.
You ain't never lied.
No. I mean toasted,
Yes, sir.
gooey, melted. It's gonna be nice.
Wait a minute, bro. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Jimmy John's, bro. After years of perfecting the cold sandwich, Jimmy John's is turning up the heat on their sandwich game.
Jimmy John's toasted sandwiches are finally here. Try one of their 3 new toasted sandwiches with like my favorite, the chicken bacon ranch, roast beef and cheddar, or the ultimate Italian.
Or why not try one of your Jimmy John's favorites, toasted?
Each sandwich is the perfect combination of crunchy and melty. They're here and they're hot.
Order online at jimmyjohns.com, the Jimmy John's app, or stop by your local Jimmy John's for a perfectly toasted sandwich. Satisfy your toast buds.
This episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network. I know we stay joking, but let me take a second to put on my serious voice. Because this isn't a joking matter. Me personally, I would never joke about a 5G network that has invested billions in building 5G towers across the country.
Me neither.
Not even once.
Me neither.
Feel me?
Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network and also provides coverage across 99% of America. Seriously. Visit boostmobile.com or your nearest Boost Mobile store for more information.
The Boost Mobile network together with our roaming partners covers 99% of the U.S. population. 5G speeds not available in all areas.
From the master to the disciple, Kobe.
I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting on this story. They had just won the championship the year before. It's almost kind of like the Detroit, Indiana thing. So we're in Staples, and they're about ready to win the game.
This is 99 or
The
2000.
year after they won, so that's 01, 02, I believe,
okay.
right? You got it queued? Okay. Yes, get it queued. Okay, so.
Get it cute.
Kick it.
So they're getting ready to win. This is in Staples. And can I go back a little bit
Come on,
of the
yeah.
history
Yeah,
with
whatever you
Kobe
guys
and
do,
I?
please.
Okay, before we get to when he was drafted and getting ready and going through the process, he and I had the same agent, Arn Tellem. Okay? Before he split off to Rob Pelinka, who was under Arn Tellem. Okay. So Arn, as they're getting ready to, as the draft is going on and they're getting ready to sign him, calls me up, hey, I want you to mentor and talk to this young kid, Kobe. And I was like, absolutely, yeah. You know, he loves Michael Jordan. He knows everything. You know, he wants to know everything about Mike. So I would call Kobe. I would talk to Kobe all the time. During that 7-game series with the Bulls and all that, afterwards, I'd be in the office and I'd be calling Kobe. He's like, hey, what was Mike doing on that play? What were you saying to him? He wanted to know everything about that.
Wow.
Right. He was a true student. He was studying all of us. He wanted to know everything about that series. Why did you do this? What was his counter? So there was a history between Kobe and I. Fast forward to us playing them in the finals. And before that, Kobe and I did a shoot. It was he and I versus, at the time, you guys remember on MTV, The Real World, the cast, the people that all lived in the house. This is when reality TV was just starting. It was Kobe and I versus The Real World. There was like 12 of them that were living in the house. We were playing, they were going to play us. There was 15 of them and us two versus them. And the losers, I mean, they made the bet, wash Kobe's dogs or something like that. And this was a chance, he and I, this is before we made it to the finals, that we had a chance. And Gail D'Agostino, who Dylan, you've worked with, she worked with both of us. And she's like, she came to me and she's like, hey, I'm just letting you know, Kobe's gonna wanna play you one-on-one. And I'm at the height of mine. He's just, you know, this is his second or third year maybe, second year. I'm like, I'm not gonna play a one-on-one, but I mean, I'll teach him some stuff. We'll get on the court. And so we're on the court. He's like, teach me that step back. I wanna know about that step back. You know, what are you looking at? Are you looking at the feet, the knees? Like, how do you do it going left and how are you doing it right? Like, don't they close? So I'm out there teaching them and doing all this. The real world people come in, we do our skit, we win. We kill them. He's like,
He takes it serious too.
I'm like, you know, let's have fun with it. You know, we'll do a couple of. He's like, no, I want to crush them. I'm like, all right, let's go crush them. Let's do it. So I'm just throwing him alley-oops and he's just going crazy. I mean, he's 19, 18, whatever. Fast forward to the finals. Shaq goes down. Game 4. Shaq fouls out. We're thinking, shit, we about ready to tie this thing up. They had won the first 2 in Staples. We won game 3. We're about ready to tie this thing up. Damn, Kobe Bryant turned into the reincarnation of MJ. And not only did he turn into the reincarnation of MJ, that same shit that I was teaching him in those step backs,
He hit that 3, yeah.
he's hitting it on me. Wop, wop. Wop, wop.
Look at Reggie Miller squaring him up. These two guys played one-on-one all summer in L.A. Kobe takes it between his legs. He pulls it back, hits the jumper, and then sort of gives it, you know, take your time. Everything's cool.
I'm like, this dude was prepping for this moment 3 years ago.
That's how deep he was.
I'm like, he is using this, what I taught him, on me and us. They win that game. They win the series in 6. Fast forward to the next year. They're winning. Now, the unwritten rule in basketball is when you're up 12,
Yep.
22 seconds left, what are you supposed to do?
Hold the ball.
dribble it out. Right? So here, he's like, if I get this ball, I'm shooting it. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you are going to shoot it, Kobe, because that's what you do. You're just out here to try to get stats.
That's what you telling him?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling him right now. I was like, yeah, a little buster. Yeah, go ahead and get your numbers, Kobe. That's what it's all about. So then we start to have words. And I was like, if he comes to me, it's on. And he took one step to me, and I body checked him right here. Yeah. Boom! I was like, that's all I wanted.
That was almost the first Malice in the
all I
Palace.
wanted. So then I have him pinned on the scorer's table.
Look at Brad's there. He don't really want
And
no
Shaq,
shit.
look at J.O.
J.O. wanted. He wanted.
Oh, J.O. And poor Austin Crozier. Look at his jersey.
He was trying to pull Shaq back originally, right?
Oh, man. Look at Austin's jersey, man. Scratch marks all on the back.
He learned. Oh, that's why he did that in the Malice in the Palace. When everything was going on, he just put his hands up and started walking through the crowd. Mm-hmm. He just put his hands up. He said, I'm familiar with this.
Oh, God, this is great. This was great. Look at this. What? Just one step. I said, just one step. Just come a little bit closer.
Cross that line.
Just come a little bit closer. There we go. Gotcha. Watch this. Mm-hmm. Nope.
Weave that.
You showed me what you had. Boom. Pick him up. Take him to the scorer's table.
Just pick them up, set them on the table.
Yep. Come here. Take a seat here.
Kobe tried to lean in with one,
Yeah.
didn't he?
He did.
He tried to lean in with
he
that.
did.
He threw the jab, then tried to lean in with the right look.
But I
man.
had the Roy Jones Jr. on him right
you weaved
there.
it, Reg. You stepped back.
I had the Roy Jones. Okay, then you just pick him up, put him right here. Everyone will jump in. Sit down right here. Take a seat right here.
That was almost the actual first Malice right there.
Low key.
But God rest. And then here's the thing. The funny thing about that. The day after,
You get a call.
man, what were we thinking? I'm like, but what I tell you, he wanted to do everything like Mike. Mm-hmm. He knew our history, Mike's and I's history. Mm-hmm. I think he
wanted part of it.
I think he wanted part of that. I really did. In the back of my, maybe I'm wrong,
Right.
but my only two real scraps, I had one with Doc, but I mean, those were the real.
He said he got a problem with Mike. You got a problem with me.
Yeah,
Hey.
right?
Yep. Straight
That's
up.
exactly what it was.
Reggie say, I only beef with goats. I only beef with two of the
Hey,
best
for
ever.
me to have beef with those two dudes,
Crazy.
the two best shooting guards our game has ever seen.
Yes.
Man, I mean, I'll take it as a form of respect
Yeah.
that they both. I can
brought
only
that-
speak for myself.
you
I
brought
hope
that-
they respected my game.
You brought
I
that out of
respected
him.
theirs.
You brought that out of him.
I didn't fear them, but I respected the hell
That's
out
what
of
they
them.
respected,
I mean,
that you didn't fear them.
I mean, to this day, I think I probably would take a swing on Mike if I saw him.
That shit was out the blue.
I might. I don't know. I don't know because there's certain things that are said in between lines.
Yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
that triggers you. And
You
you
never
remember.
forget.
Yeah.
It's funny because
What'd he say, Reg?
during the 75th anniversary, you remember Mike wasn't part of any of the pre-picture and all that, but he showed up before we all walked out.
Yeah.
And you show that. Pull it up, Dylan. Like when he's going at Magic. Like let's put him on. Let's go right now. Like everyone, we're all around there, and I'm saying to myself, I might just go over there.
Get my lick back.
Right? I might. I might.
Go even the score.
I might. I mean, we got the 75 greatest players out there right now, and in my head, I'm saying to myself,
I'm triggered a
I
little
might-
bit.
my hand
My
kind
hands,
of.
my hands are sweating.
It's like, past all that before we walk out. When he goes at Magic,
We gonna play
and
right
you
now.
hear stories from AI and D Wade about that moment, like, oh my God, you could tell. Yes, he is king among all these kings because they all did bow down to him. Keep going. Here we go.
I seen that too when he walked in there. It was like,
There it is. Here it is. Turn it up. Yeah. See, I'm right behind a little bit to the right of D Wade. And I'm saying,
This is your time. This is your moment, huh? This is your moment.
this is it. I mean, it was great to see him and Magic go at it, but
Don't come this way with that shit.
man,
I don't come this way with that shit.
some wounds are hard to
Man.
they're hard to heal. I love it. I tell people, hey, it's no question to me. He's the best I've ever seen. I mean, his body, but man,
Where does Kobe's skill set rank with?
see, he took it to a different level, I think.
Okay, I wanna
Kobe
hear-
was a much better shooter.
I want to hear this from you because you played both
Yeah.
and you mentored one.
Kobe was a much, and fundamentals, but Kobe was a better three-point shooter.
Yeah.
He took it, he was almost like MJ on steroids. When I tell you, he watched every film when he was over in Italy on MJ. I'm not kidding you. He had the footwork down to a pack. Down. Everything. But he put his little flair into it. You know, people talking about, Magic or LeBron.
That's what I wanted to ask you. I think
And
kinda-
Mike,
he
I
kind
mean-
of gets looked over a little bit in that.
Kobe
Not in
gets
my
left
book.
over.
Not in my book.
Tim Duncan gets left over. I mean, because he's so quiet. Kareem. Man.
Killers.
Man.
Get interested on it.
Y'all this trip down memory lane. It's nice and all, but it brings back.
Yeah, man.
And then you got Rodman out there talking shit. And look, I had some crazy dudes on my Davis boys.
Davis boys are
Yeah.
killers.
You got Rodman out there hooting and hollering. Scotty.
How good was Scotty?
Scotty. He was the best Robin. He was the best Robin because he did everything he had to do and then threw it to 23.
Yeah.
But defensively, see, and this was the great thing, and this is why come playoff time, and all y'all know this, coaching matters.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Players will do 82 games. Players will win it then. Now your coach, can you really,
From
strategy,
game to
from game to game,
Game to game.
coaching matters. And when they put Pip on Mark Jackson, it kind of
Shut the water off.
shut the water off for us
Yep.
because we weren't used to that.
Too long.
And as great as Mark is, I mean, 6'7", but a wingspan of 7'5".
That can move.
Yeah.
I mean, it was tough. And Jack was our pipeline for our offense. Took him out. Took him out.
Talk to us about Larry Bird. He was your favorite player growing up. He knocked you out the 91 playoffs and ended up being your coach. Talk about Larry Bird.
It's funny because when I talk about, I patterned my game after Larry Legend. My rookie year in the Boston Garden, our first game there, I had met him briefly at a game in Indiana that he and I both played in, but he barely said a word to me. But after that first game in the Garden, his closing moments of the game, he walks by me and says, "Keep working hard, Reggie. You're going to be a great one." And I played it cool, but I'm saying inside like, "Oh my God, Larry Bird just said, keep working hard." Again, I remember who my mentors were: Magic, Byron Scott, Coop. So I've been around the greats, but for Larry Bird to say this to me, I was like, "Oh, crap! This is crap. This is my first year." Fast forward to 2 years later, my third year, when I have the reins it's my team now, I feel. I have a superpower, make the All-Star team. We're playing the Celtics in Market Square Arena at the time, and it was a close game, but they were going to end up winning it. He's at the free throw line. And gamesmanship and talking a little bit, I'm going to try to, throw off his rhythm, thinking I'm going to throw off Larry Bird's rhythm. And, as the official goes to give the guy the ball, you'll cross the lane, like, hold up, you'll cross the lane and, just try to ice the shooter a little bit. I did that once, and then I kind of did it again, right? So he gets the ball from the official, dribblers once. He's like, "Reggie, are you freaking kidding me?" "Reggie, are you fucking kidding me? I'm the best shooter this game has ever seen. You think you're going to be able to ice me?" As he's talking. Next one, wah. I'm like, damn. I walk to the other side, and Kevin McHale goes, yeah, that was kind of stupid of you to do something like that, right? I'm like, oh, shit. He's like, I am the best shooter this game. And he's saying it out loud so everyone can see. I'm like, oh, my God, he's outing me at my home in front of all my family and friends. I'm the best shooter this game has ever seen. Wow. I'm like, oh, shit. It's true. It is true. And people talk about what was harder, playing against him or being under him as the coach. No question being underneath him. There was so much pressure on us, not only to win every game that we had going back to Boston, which I think we were 9-1 in those 3 years, but every game was like it had to be like a game 7. That was his mentality. And this is how big Larry Bird was coaching. Our first exhibition game, we were playing in like Daytona. You know how you go to weird places for exhibition games? We were playing in Daytona. Not only did they televise the game, but they put him in a one box.
In the one box.
Just sitting down.
Picture in the picture.
Yeah.
Game, one box, and just Larry sitting there. I'm like, shit. Every game's going to be Game 7, World Series, Super Bowl with this. But, man, practices were intense. He didn't talk a lot. We had an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. Rick Carlisle, offensive coordinator. Dick Harder, defensive coordinator. And then Larry would come in timeouts and say, yeah, I like this, yeah, go. We had a veteran team, Mark, the Davis boys, Derek McKee, Rick Smits, Travis Best. So he didn't have to, it wasn't like our young team with Carlisle, which, you know, would probably have been a little different from him. He knew and had played against a lot of us. So he kind of knew our temperament. But it was, and we wanted to win that Lakers championship in 2000 for him too. I mean,
Yeah.
man, that dude was a bad white boy, man.
That's who called me. That's who gave me the phone call when I got my first big contract. When I coming in nap, that's who gave me the call, and I still remember it like today. We was going crazy. This is Larry Bird. I'm like, who? I put him on speakerphone. Everybody running around. I'm like, yeah, man, it's Larry Bird. Do you think it's funny that Isaiah took over for Bird? Then when Bird came back as executive, he fired him.
So when the All-Star game was in Indiana 2 years ago,
We was there. Yeah.
okay, Turner came to me and was like, hey, we want you to do a sit-down, and it's going to be Larry, Legend, and Isaiah. I'm like, really? I was like, Larry's okay with this? I was like, yeah, Larry says no problem. I was like, Isaiah's good with this? Because, you know, there's a lot between the bad boys and the Celtics and history between them two and what went on during the playoffs, saying if he was a regular, well,
Yeah.
remember all that?
Yeah.
All that could come up, and you know me, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. That's my job, is to bring it up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. So that came up with, you know, he was the executive, and he was really brought in to fire, and he said on the show, the interview, I like you, Isaiah, hell of a basketball player, and I think you did a great job, but I like Rick Carlisle better.
That's
Your
simple.
services are no longer needed. Because I don't think Donnie Walsh wanted to fire Isaiah, and he brought in the one guy. Who's gonna say or question Larry Legend? And I mean, Carlisle, he took us to different heights too, though.
Made the right decision.
But Isaiah's response to all that was, and I don't know if you heard about this, maybe, he said that the Malice in the Palace probably wouldn't have happened if he had been coaching that night, because the fans would have respected him and Ron would have listened to him. That's what he said on the show.
He couldn't have controlled that.
Yeah.
He couldn't have controlled that.
He said that the Malice in the Palace never would have happened if he was coaching that night. And, I mean, that's
Never know.
Bird was like, you know, it is what it is, but that was his response to when Larry said, you know, I just like Carlisle better. He's like, well, I think you made a mistake. This was Isaiah. I think you made a mistake because What happened in Detroit never would have happened.
What people don't know is it was a possibility that what happened in Detroit could have happened in any
Any-
arena
yeah.
that season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Straight up with Roy. Legendary sneaker career though. You've been big with the sneakers. We got a partnership with StockX. You used to wear Jordans.
I
a
did.
lot. How did that happen?
Well, first of all, you could not wear Jordans when Mike was at his superpowers and when he was with the Bulls and all that. Only Mike wore Jordans, I believe. I don't think Jordan Brand started to take off is when maybe he went to Washington and he was starting to phase his way out and to keep the Jordan brand going. So I knew, remember you had to do your homework? I knew it would be an irk for him. He wasn't going to call me and tell me he wanted me to be on Jordan brand. There's no way he was.
Too much pride.
He would never do that. Never, ever do that. So during a couple of times, maybe one game or two, when he was with the Bulls, I wore him in the game just to irk him. Because I just wanted to
Fuck with them.
fuck with him a little bit. And I heard it later on from, hey, you cannot be wearing Air Jordans at all. Even if you're playing them or not playing, you can't be. I was like, okay.
Who
but-
said that though? Like higher ups, executives,
Yeah,
him?
someone from
Oh,
Nike.
really?
Someone Nike called Arn. I was like,
Okay.
I was like, I ain't tripping. I just wanted to do it for that game.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I'm not gonna be wearing them all the time. But then the people called and was like, hey, you want to be part of Brand Jordan?
You look good in them.
I'm like, shit. All right. I'll do
Look
it.
at that free gear.
I was like, all right.
Like it.
Be sure you put my
gotta-
name
I was
on them,
about to
so
say, got the
people,
name
even
on
though
the
they
side.
see, him spread eagle with his legs all out, it does say Reggie on there.
Yeah, I see
That's
Reggie. I see
Reggie.
Reggie 30. I see Reggie 31 on them boys.
Make it my own a little bit.
Yeah.
So they did some of that,
Yeah.
but it was, I'm not a sneakerhead per se, though I do have a lot of the Jordans my last 5 years because I was part of them. But I wasn't high up like Eddie Jones and Ray and those guys.
Yeah.
Again, I was starting to lose my superpower, so it was more of like a courtesy because I had been with Nike basically my whole career, and they were like, all right, you can wear Jordans.
When did you start training with Mike in off season?
With Jordan, I only did it once.
Once.
And it's when he was coming back, when he was filming Space Jam, and Jack Haley, Surfing Jack Haley, who was my center at UCLA, who was drafted by the Bulls, and then he came back to the Bulls when Rodman was there around 95, 96, whenever he came back from baseball the first time, and he was filming at Warner Brothers lot, and they built him, they called it the Jordan Dome, and he would film all day. This is what was crazy. This dude would film all day, starting at 7 a.m., finish shooting at 4, eat, and then the run started at about 5:36. And he would have at the time, all the top players, kind of like how playing at UCLA was in the men's gym, but it all went over the valley to Burbank to Warner Brothers. And I mean, I was like, man, damn, they
Crazy.
They built this dude state-of-the-art court, workout facility, like top line, everything. And I'm thinking, okay, here, I'm gonna do my reconnaissance on this fucker. I'm gonna figure out. So every single time we never played with, I was like, I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna guard him every single time.
Nothing.
Damn. You got some of the runs? Pull it up. Man, again, this is before the age of cell phones.
Yeah.
And this dude, I was like, shit. And not only we'd play from 6 to about 8, and then I was like, when I tell people your practices aren't done when practice is over, and then he's getting up another 700 to 1,000 shots. Look at this. Look at the state of the fucking art. This dude, one dude. Look at this shit. Everything. Juwan Howard, Eddie Jones,
Said Sabalas.
said, man, come on, motherfucker. Sal Thompson, Surfer Jack Haley.
Light it. Oh, good pass.
Yeah, keep here.
Kick. Come on, Reggie.
Turnover. Damn it. What's it?
He shot that. He was running back for the ball. He went through the hole.
Yeah, it's the mic head. Man, turn this off. I don't want to see him anymore.
Turn this shit off.
Turn this shit off, man. I don't want to see him.
So
Yeah, those were great. That was a cool experience to be a part.
Good time run. Before we get you out of here, it's been incredible. I want to go back to the Spike Lee, Madison Square Garden, all that whole legendary situation. I don't know if you saw your picture. We had your picture up there when you walked in of the infamous.
Love that.
Talk to us just about the like you said early on, you hung your hat on being able to go into behind enemy lines and really do your thing. So talk to us about that particular day in that series.
It was set up the year before because we played them in a best of 5 the year before. And I believe they beat us 3-1. But you could tell the tension was kind of rising with them. And going into that series, we had beaten Orlando, Shaq and Penny. Then we beat Atlanta. And then, oh my God, like we came out of nowhere in '94. We're in the Eastern Conference Finals. And oh, by the way, we're going against the bullies on the block. Mm-hmm. We're going against New York at the #1 media market. And everyone's like, oh man, this is going to be a sweep. These Hicks, who are these? I'm like, y'all have no idea. Because, I mean, again, I love me some Davis boys. Them dudes, Rick, we did not care. And we had Larry Brown. One, as hard-ass as he is as a coach, and he drives his players, X's and O's, he's one of the best. So I knew we had a legitimate shot to get to the finals. Man, to go against that motherfucker over there. God, this hurt. Boy. It hurts because people always, fans always come up and say, they talk about the 25-point quarter. They talk about 8 points and 9, all the great shots and all that. Me, I internalize. To this day, I think about the losses. They hurt. It's the what ifs. So that series, to be that close, and I was 27 at the time too, and you don't know if you're ever going to be back. We were, but you don't know. And it was such a magical run, and we rechanged Indiana, and because no one looked at us like that. No one respected us. And it was my job. I brought Indiana is predominantly all white, and there's a lot of racism at times.
Ain't no secret, yeah.
And they were on board. The racists were on board with us.
Man, that means you're doing something.
And we changed the city. We were all in it together. Hicks versus the Knicks. And if you do not build up a true disdain for your opponent, I just don't feel you could ever beat them because that's why, all the hugging and kissing and all that now, which I get it. I understand it. I just
don't sit well.
I mean, Byron Coop, they would look at me crazy. They would be so disappointed if I would have done, if I would do something like that. So that series, though, we had our, God. At the end of the day, and it will always be on me, when you're Superman and you have your superpowers, it's always you. It's always you. I failed those dudes. Every time we were in the conference finals, the finals against the Lakers, that's me. I failed them. And you want to win for those guys because, it's all the supporting players that talk the most shit when they get a ring and they didn't do shit to get, it was always Scotty or Mike, or it was always Shaq and Kobe. But, you hear some dudes as the 12th man talking the biggest noise. You want to win it for those dudes. I failed them. And I had my opportunities to win that series. Game 6, after the 25-point quarter, the choking and all that, We're up 3-2, going back to Indiana.
Yep. Should have been over.
You got to close it out. In your building, you're the man. You got to close them out with a chance to play Vern and Hakeem in the final. You have to do that. That falls on you. We lost. You have 2 chances to win one, but you really have. You don't want to go back to the Garden.
Game 7.
You don't want to go back for Game 7. And even though it came down to the last possession in Game 7, we lost that series I lost that series, in Game 6. They were up big the whole way. We cut it. It's 3 minutes left. We cut it to 2. I get fouled. I go to the free throw line, and we had not led at all. And I knew if we could tie or take the lead, we were going to break them. You just know when it's going to break. I go 1 for 2 at the free throw line, and we're down 1, and it's almost like they exhaled, like they didn't catch us. I did that. So these are the things I internalize. It's me. So when I'm, in my thoughts thinking, these are the things I think about as a former player. It's not the shots and all that. It's the what ifs. The what ifs versus Chicago in Game 6 or in Game 7 in Chicago Stadium, jump ball. I can recite all this. Pull it up, Dylan. We're up 6. Jump ball between Rick Smits, Scottie Pippen. I believe on their side of the court. We win that, go down the score. We go up 8, possibly 9 with a 3, with 3 and change left. Then you can start to massage the game a little bit. Scottie wins the tip, finds little freaking Steve Kerr, hits a 3, cuts it in half. We got to win that tip. We win that tip and score. God. So those are the things I think about. Does
it still haunt you to this day, or are you at peace with it now?
It will always haunt me. It will always haunt me not winning a chip. It wouldn't haunt me as much if I was never so close.
Yeah.
Right? You could be a great player and never be close. I never had the opportunity. I had opportunities.
You got to smell it.
That's what hurts is I had opportunities. And that's why it burns me. It just burns me because you want to win it for the guys in that locker room that run through a brick wall for you when you're the man. For my Davis boys, giving up their bodies. Dale Davis having a dislocated shoulder, popping it back in the playoffs, saying, I'm good to let's go. Come on, man. Man, I want to win it for those dudes and the fans. On top of what makes this series, why this is how we were thinking. This is how Mark Jackson and I were thinking. This is how cocky we were. But you have to be. We wanted to retire that dude. Because remember, this is his last year.
You're gonna take a break.
We're like, we want to retire.
Send him home.
That's how we felt. And another thing, why this is my fault. 20 points at half for me, and I end with 24. That's unacceptable.
Second chance points, too.
That's unacceptable. This has got to be a 35 to 40 point game for me in the playoffs versus him. And he was 9 for 29. So he's not having a great night himself. Everything is stacked for you to beat these dudes.
Yeah.
God.
Do you ever go back and watch any of these series that either you win or lost after all these years?
I don't need to go back and watch them because
in your mind, constantly.
It is a nonstop loop. Nonstop loop in my head. How I can just recite certain things. It's just, we had them. We had them.
Steph Curry, his greatness, the revolution, they were kind of revolutionizing the art of the three-point shot. You were someone who back then they called it volume, but it wasn't the volume compared to today. Thoughts on Steph and what he's been able to do to this game and what your game would have been like with that kind of freedom and that kind of, because you played in an area where it's inside out.
Right.
If you can come down and transition whenever you wanted and just shoot threes.
If I could shoot 10 to 15 threes a game, Max, both of us.
Yes.
There's only a handful of players that you think about that has truly changed the game. Having a 6'9" point guard. I don't think we'll ever see that again in Magic. Having a guy who flies, Air Jordan. Having someone as dominant as a Shaquille O'Neal, even though they say Wilt. Someone who changed the culture, like an AI.
Yep.
And then to me, Stephen Curry.
You hit all that on the nose. I mean, you can't explain it better than that.
Right? There is no, those 5 guys changed basketball. And if you go to any rec league, you go to any high school, any AAU, and you see those kids, we all have kids, the first thing they do is run to that 3-point line and shoot and say, Stephen Curry.
Yep. Curry range.
He has changed. And, you know, he's come out and said, look, there's steps here. I didn't just come out shooting, 25-footers and, form shooting. I work my way in, work my way out. But all they see is the end result. And he has mastered it. He is one of the all-time game changers.
Yes.
That's big. Quick hitters. First thing to come to your mind, let us know. Top 5 shooters of all time. And don't be shy.
No, I'm going to say present company excluded. Larry Legend, Stephen, Ray, Mark Price, and I'm going to tell you who could shoot it. Peja Stojakovic.
Yes.
/ Drazen Petrovic.
Yes.
I'll put both of those itches in there.
Son of a itches.
Those itches. Got to put those itches in there.
One album you can listen to with no skips.
Man, Thriller.
Michael Jackson.
Jackson,
I knew the answer to that. I knew the answer to that
Oh,
already.
man. MJ Thriller. You know how much I love MJ.
I heard Sugar Free said you had the same amount of motherfucking hours that Michael Jackson did. You became yourself. You still became yourself.
Thriller, baby. Anything MJ. I'm listening to it nonstop.
I love it. 5 dinner guests, you plus 5, dead or alive.
I'm going to go with Muhammad Ali. I'll go with Barack. I will go with Denzel, Rosa Parks.
Nice.
Because I want to know. That's strength. I want to know.
Yep.
And I have one more. I'm going to go with Walter Payton.
Sweetness.
Sweetness. I want to know too.
2025 NBA champ. Who gonna win it?
Because I have to call games, it's hard for me to say who's going to win it, but I'll
you
give
like?
you my who do I like. Well, I think it's time now for OKC to show up. All right, the last 2 years, they've had the best regular season. But come this time of year, they faltered. And this is back to your point about vets and all that. It's time. It could be theirs to lose. But if Boston is Boston and Porzingis, remember, they won a championship and basically Porzingis played 2 games.
Yeah. It was
Dude,
that much of a difference, though.
Boston is making threes, and you could talk about Tatum and Brown and Porzingis all you want. To me, Drew Holiday and Derek White.
Tough.
Man.
Tough.
And then Pritchard off the bench is kind of like in that mold too.
Could be 6th man of the year.
Yep.
If they're making threes and all that, they're going to be a very difficult out. Cleveland, man, I was so impressed in that last Indiana game playing without those. They have a lot of depth, but I would love to see OKC and Boston in the NBA Finals. But OKC, it's time now.
They got to prove it.
You got to prove it because.
Your window's closing faster
And
than it
with
opens.
you got Luka and LeBron. Is this going to be the last go round for LeBron? And
Clippers hot at the right time. Clippers are hot.
they're to me,
Yeah. I think.
And
agree.
Kawhi is Kawhi now.
Kawhi. Zubats is quietly having most
Kawhi
improved
is
type
Kawhi.
player.
James Harden has.
Killing it. Norman Powell, a Bruin brother. Yeah, Clippers are going to be tough out, I feel like. Hypothetically, would you trade the game winner over MJ in the 98 Eastern Finals for the Tayshaun block in the Eastern Finals in 04?
Hell yes. Because I don't know if we would have won that Chicago series anyways if I missed that shot, because we go back to their place. Yeah, I would definitely, because if I make that layup and we win that series, because I remember going into the locker room and telling J.O. and Ron, because, you know, they butted heads, whose team it was. I was like, do you guys understand? Whoever wins this series is going to win a championship, because the Lakers were waiting with Kobe and Shaq and all that. I was like, but they ain't playing defense like Detroit and us. Whoever wins this series is going to win a championship. They could not understand that. What happens? Detroit beats us, and it was a gentleman 5-game sweep.
Yeah, beat the shit out the Lakers.
They beat the crap out of them. I'm like, so yes, I would change that goaltending block by Tayshaun. I would change that, because if we win that series,
Get the finals.
I think we're going to win the championship versus the Lakers.
If you could see one guest on our show, who would it be?
But
You have to help us get your answer on the show. You said his name because we got business to do.
Has Denzel ever been on here?
No.
that'd be cold.
That's the name, but that wasn't even who I was thinking about, who I got business with. But Denzel, Spike Lee.
Oh, Spike Lee.
Spike's never been on here?
No, we need Spike.
And he just commented, because I was Mr. Spike. I played in Spizikes. And he saw it on our page on StockX, so he made a comment. So
Does
we
he
can
know
make
that's
it do
why
a collab.
does he know that's why your toenails are black?
Yeah, man. Actually, if I pull my socks off, I have manicured feet.
Bring that
Pedicured feet, so my feet are nice.
I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know.
hey, Max,
Maybe he gave me the B number.
I don't even have no
know.
corns, Mac.
Hey,
I don't even have no corns,
he's
Mac.
calling
That's why they
Spike
love
out.
me.
I'm going to see if
have
this
no
is a
corns.
real number or not.
He calling Spike right now.
Hold on.
I'm going to see. I'm just going to see if this is a real number. Bring that
he
camera
answer.
over here. Let's see if this is
Spizike, man. Let me holler at Spizike, man. Get this collab going on, man.
I don't think we've ever had this on site. We should make this a standard. Right?
I don't think everybody.
I don't know if it works.
I don't know if everybody can come through like Reg though.
I don't know if I can either.
I need that collab. That Spike Lee collab.
Your call has been forwarded to
Oh, Spike, don't do Reg.
Come
like
on,
that.
man.
You still mad?
All right, so this is the right thing, because here's I got a thread. Hey,
No, you gotta look at that thread.
doing all the smoke. They need a sit down
Oh, gee.
With-
Come through.
your janky ass.
So, Reg, man, we appreciate you. We
y'all.
got some
Gifts for
gear
you.
for you.
Oh yes, all the smoke. Yes indeed. Yes indeed.
I mean, one of the greatest players, but even better person.
This is what it's all about.
You've
right
always
here,
been
people.
solid to us, Reg, so we appreciate you, man. We love you. Thank you
Yes,
for your
definitely love
time,
you,
man.
bro.
Thank you
Love you,
guys,
big
man.
man.
Continued
Sorry I got
success.
emotional.
No,
in
we
here.
love it.
Man,
It's
shit.
real.
Y'all
I
gonna
was
bring
holding
brothers
mine
to
in.
tears.
It's
Everyone's gonna
real.
think I'm soft now.
That's a wrap, man.
But it's okay.
Long
because
overdue.
It's okay for men to let their feelings out and cry.
We've been trying to
people.
learn, man. We've been trying to
I
learn.
I cry on
Okay
this
to
show more
let
than
it
anybody.
go.
Shit.
As black men, you gotta let it
Man.
out.
Talk to him,
I
man.
let mine.
Let it out.
Man, that's
it's
a wrap.
Okay.
Reggie Miller, the great. You can catch this on All the Smoke Productions YouTube and the DraftKings Network. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reg. Tommy John's have changed the game. Their underwear are the most comfortable I've ever worn. They're silky soft, breathable, and lightweight. If you don't believe me, check the waistband. Ever since Tommy John has been sending me products, it's all I've been wearing. They're the true MVP in the underwear game. What are some of the problems that other underwear brands give you that Tommy John doesn't? These things let my balls breathe. And that's the most important thing. They hold them nice and tight, but they can also breathe. So get you some. Double down with comfort on Tommy John and get 25% off your first order right now at TommyJohn.com/smoke with the promo code SMOKE. Save 25% at TommyJohn.com/smoke. I'll see you there.
You ever had one of those moments when you want to elevate your night? Maybe it's a dinner with friends or a celebration that calls for something extra. That's where Grand Marnier comes in. You probably heard of it, but have you tried the signature drink? The Grand Margarita. It's the twist of a classic margarita. It has the smooth richness of Grand Marnier's cognac. And combined with orange liqueur, a bit of citrus, and just the right amount of sweetness, with a taste like that, it's perfect for any occasion. Whether you're chilling at the crib or out with friends, a Grand Marg remixes a regular cocktail into something extraordinary. Don't just settle for a good cocktail when you can have something grand. It's about making your next drink one to remember. So when you're making your next margarita, remix it and make it grand with Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. 2025 Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style, drink responsibly.